Miniature Realms is proudly sponsored by Income Gaming, Cheltenham's premier friendly local game store. Check the link in the description. Miniature Realms is proudly sponsored by Baron of Dice, premium wargaming dice. Over 500 styles, over 4,000 customer reviews. Welcome to the best dice on the planet. Hello, welcome to Miniature Realms. My name's Stuart, and a slightly different extra video for you here, really. I think we'll call it an extra video because BenQ got in touch with me and asked me if I'd like to have a look at and review the new ideaCam S1 Pro. And it's a little bit of a strange thing to contact me with, but there is a lot of relevance to it, at least for me to review it. How much it is for you as the regular viewer of the channel who follow my painting tutorials, I'm not sure. But I use webcams. I'm not looking at one now. I'm looking at my Lumix G7, which is my main filming camera. But if you watch my hobby hour and the podcast I do, if you watch when I'm a guest with Jordan on Jordan Sorcery Book Club, I use a 4K webcam made by Logitech, which is pretty good. But I also do painting tuition online, that part of the Patreon. This isn't supposed to be an advert for that, but I do some tuition online, and sometimes switching between the correct cameras can be a bit of a pain. I used to use a video card and use my Lumix with it. It didn't always work very well. That's me and my inability with tech sometimes, but I like really easy plug and play things. So I was looking at maybe, do I move my webcam, but then that's a problem when I'm doing tuition. I want to switch between the two cameras easily. So I was having a little bit of a problem with it. Nothing major, but they got in touch and said, look at this, would it be useful for you? And this is designed to be really good for people doing presentations. It folds down towards your desk and things like that, which is really cool. It doesn't super suit my layout for doing that because my painting desk is over there and my filming desk and editing desk is here, and that's deliberate because I don't want to get airbrush and paint all over my iMac, all over my mixing desk and all those kind of things. So having two cameras that I can move around is useful. Luckily, this works on a tripod and designed to do that as well, and also comes with some cool software with integration with Zoom, which enables you to, when you share screen, you share the program screen for this, not just the whole screen as well. So some interesting things I wanted to look at. So I thought I'd just share my thoughts after playing around with it, and I have used it for one session. And for those of you then who are maybe looking, even if it's just painting with your friends online and the ability to show them what you're working on. I know there's lots of hangouts on Discord, video hangouts and things where people paint, and that might be quite a useful camera for switching between the two views and that kind of thing. So I just thought I'd share my thoughts with it, really, and it may well help other YouTubers out there who do tuition or want to have an option for filming or for filming their painting, and it's a reasonable starter price if you're not buying lots of other cameras as well. It's not super cheap. It's about £160, I think. I will check and pop that up on the screen, but it's a decent thing. But let me show you all about it. So let's take a look inside the box, and the box itself is pretty no frills, really. You don't feel like you're buying an iPhone or something like that when they've put a lot of extra money into the packaging, but inside everything is very well packed and secure. The foam is that really high density firm stuff, and everything's very, very safe in there. There's the little wireless controller and your batteries and things. If anything, some stuff was quite hard to get out because it was so tight fitting, and to be fair, that's what you want, really. With everything laid out, you can see what you get. You don't get a tripod with it that's pictured in some of the advertising and things. That is an optional extra, but you do get your controller here, and that feels lovely to control and to run your fingers around. This is really weighty. The large bulbous end there has got loads of weight to it, and you can adjust this to make it a little bit tighter so that can fit on the top of your monitor and it runs down the back of your screen. And you've got the little thread underneath as well, which you can screw a stand into, and the webcam fits on the top of there just by pushing in. That is magnetic to fit on the front of the camera itself, just pops on really, really easily. And the same goes for the 15 times magnifier as well. That just sticks on as a magnet, so that's really easy, nothing to screw in and out, really quick and easy to do. On top you've got a light button as well, and it feels well made. So a little bit of spec for you. It has its 3 camera modes, your handheld, your desktop and portrait, and you can use a tripod or a mount as well. It takes 1 second to switch between the webcam and the document camera, and then it's really easy to attach the macro lens, which gives you 15 times magnification as well, and I'll show you that later on. The software that's built in is really, really good for use as well. You can adjust focus and color and zoom in and out. You can add measuring tools and things as well, which is really, really useful for some people, not for miniature painting quite as much. It's got a Sony 8 megapixel camera. It is 4K at 30 FPS as well. The little remote controller allows you to do a lot of that away from the desk with integration with the software as well. I've cut out my original audio because it's a little bit easier for me to talk about it afterwards, but I'm switching between the 2 cameras. So right now I'm on my Logitech, so you can see the difference between the different 4K cameras, and I switch over to the BenQ. And they are slightly different, as you can see, especially in the color grading. If you focus on the background, they are essentially the same in that kind of detail. You just need a lot less lighting for the BenQ, and the camera and lighting setup that I use is a little bit bright for it there, so you got a little bit of reflection, but also the Logitech tends to fade out and smooth out the skin as well, and I didn't have a setting but on that, just makes me look a little bit younger. But in terms of overall quality, they're similar, just slightly different in their light gradient. Of course, I mentioned this thing's supposed to be handheld. Well, obviously you can pick up any webcam, but as I do it, you can sort of see that it keeps its focus relatively well. Obviously, I'm just waving it around here, but it's light enough and easy enough and doesn't screw onto its little holder, so you can just lift it straight on. And this is the magnifier, which you wouldn't use for miniature painting. But when you place it down, you can see how good it is. And look how close you can get up to my paint job and see how bad it really, really is that close. That shows the detail of the magnification, which is pretty cool. Now I'm on the Inspire software here, and this is what it looks like on the screen, and you've got this little controller, and you can see that I can zoom in and out on that, which is handy when I'm doing painting. Maybe not so handy to zoom into my face, as nobody really wants to see that. So some of you may well have seen my office setup before. This is the background, what you see for a lot of my videos to camera, and there is my painting corner with my overhead cam ready to pull down there, and there is my painting desk. As you can see, the painting desk isn't next to my computer. Here's the BenQ set up on a little tripod. The standard has got a screw cap, so you can just screw straight into it, so you don't have to pop it off its normal control, which is a little bit quicker than my existing one. You can see the cables running across there, but I have a setup here with 2 webcams working. So I did a little test record on a Zoom call, so this is what my Logitech camera will look like facing me for the first part of it, and then as I want to, I can do screen share because it links directly with the Inspire software. It just shows the screen for that program and still keeps me picture in picture rather than having to share straight across, and I think that's a really, really nice integration. And I haven't tried it with all the other programs, but it advertises that works the same with Teams and with Google Meet as well. I've used Google Meet a little bit. I do prefer Zoom, I think, at the moment, but as you can see, this gives me greater control over what I'm showing a student. And in reverse as well, if you were the student and you were using a similar setup, this would work to show your tutor as well. And this is primarily what I'm interested in it for. But also, something it will be really good for, and something I'm looking to do in the future, is live streams. And this would really, really help me manage cameras on a live stream and keep it easy, where I could talk to the viewers to start with, and then also show what I was working on. And it's given me encouragement to go and do that. One of the things that's put me off doing that before is just playing around with camera, so it seems really unprofessional in the midst of doing it all. Well, this seems like a much more fun way of doing it. I can play with all the settings while I'm still within Zoom on the Inspire software. So here I'm playing around with the focus, and you can have manual and automatic focus. So I'm messing around with that there. You can pause. I can draw on the screen, as you can see me doing here. Now that might not be so interesting with painting, but if I had a document out or something like that and I wanted to show something, I could do as well. So that's really, really fun, and just a fun little extra. And the software's super, super easy and loaded really, really quickly. So no problems with it there, and at least in my limited exploration of it. And as I also mentioned, you can add magnification and measuring tools and things to the screen. So you can probably vaguely see there, I've just added a measuring tool, and I can play around with advanced image settings as well, changing the resolution. I can change the white balance, the brightness, the contrast, the saturation, sharpness, hue, all of those things. Change the flicker mode and reduce. Basically, there's lots of stuff I haven't played around with in great detail, or would probably know technically what would be good or not. But there's loads of function in there, way more than I have with the Logitech. I might be able to do those things within computer settings, and people more computer literate than me will understand that and will probably say, well, you can just do this or that. But in terms of a layman using it, if someone wants something that works out the box, this software is pretty easy to use, and there's loads of tools on here. As you can see me playing around with all of the measuring overlays that I'm just never going to need or use, but they may well be useful to someone, so I thought I'd still show them off. Thank you very much for watching that slightly unusual. It is an extra video. I appreciate it's not really in its whole entirety about miniature painting. For many people who have no intention of doing any filming while they're painting or showing off what they're painting online, it might not be useful to you. If you're one of my students who sometimes struggles to show me what they're working on, I'd recommend it. It'll probably do the job. But also I appreciate it's an outlay of cash to do that kind of thing, but it is pretty good, if you've seen from my comments. It's not amazing, it's not groundbreaking compared to other webcams, but there are some really nice little touches. The fact that it can hinge down, the fact that you've got that macro thing might help some people, and the software that comes with it is pretty good and robust as well, especially when you're trying to focus and share your screen, which I found really, really useful for that sense. So I think I'm going to use it quite a lot on the channel. It's going to be quite useful to me if I'm filming in a book style thing with the page down. That might be really useful, so I will use it a lot, especially in tuition and using in conjunction with my other webcam to have two different views. It is really good for that, and I'm sure in the future when I do some live streams, which is also the intention, the ability to really easily switch between a face on camera and my desk down camera will be perfect. And I think, and I mentioned earlier in the video, the live stream sort of things would be really good as well. So if you're thinking of doing that, I know lots of people are making their own content, could be worth looking at that camera. I would recommend it based on the amount I've tried it so far. But anyway, if you are interested in the Patreon and the tuition and things like that, based on the conversations I've been having in this video, do check it out. All the links are in the video description as normal. There are multiple tiers, and it's the top tiers that have the level of full one-to-one tuition online, and there's two different lengths of period and of time, that is, and the price reflects that. But if you have any questions, just get in touch and ask. But other than that, if you're still watching at this point, thank you very much. Hope you found the video useful in one way or another. Take care, and I'll catch you soon.